Once again, you already know what time it is. We are back. I told y'all this was gonna be a fun field show. I don't know if y'all understand. I think I have two of the most dynamic high school football coaches in the country, bar none. The conversation, the motivation, the elevation, the gratification that they have embodied over this past couple of months. Like this, it hadn't been a full year for these young men to come in and to do what they've done since getting the job probably in the summer, like June, July, maybe. Was it that early? That
May the 10th.
May the 10th. You get in school about to be out almost.
Yeah.
And these guys, Orange Mound veterans. Oh my goodness. I think I done got loud. I think about 8 Ball and MJG. I think about Pressure World. Now you got to think about the Morrow brothers. Hey, look, let me clear it up, Richard, real quick.
Yes, sir.
This is a fact. Their name started ringing some years ago. Because I think the boys were playing at Germantown, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they were good in middle school.
Mm-hmm.
So we were trying to figure out, everybody trying to figure out where the boys were going.
Right.
And I knew they were super talented.
Right.
But I remember BA
Right.
always talking about, hey, man, you know how you talk. Hey, man. Man, I'll tell you, man, them boys cold, man. I'm telling you, man. From Alabama.
Yes, sir.
BA.
Cook.
Yeah. You know what you said?
Cook.
Man, they cold, man. I'm telling you, man. Wherever them boys land, man, they gonna be good, man. I said, well, say no more. Let's figure this thing out. And Greg Moore, a lot of guys started saying, no, them dudes was a real deal.
Mm-hmm.
Track, football, real deal. Tennessee State, like, real deal. State champions, real deal. I said, for real? Like, yeah. And so for y'all to go from that to be just motivating a group of young men who the world says are the hardest group to get motivated, in a 4-month span, you done took them to one of the biggest games of their life.
Yes, sir.
Man, how does that feel, man?
First and foremost, man, appreciate you for having us on your platform.
Oh, man, you already introduced yourself. Let them folks know who they listening to.
I'm Gerald Morrow. Oh, and I'm Jared Morrow.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but man, how's it feel? Man, it feels amazing. Like just to know we had a vision. My brother called me. I want to say it was not long after the Orange Mound Park shooting. That's the park we grew up in. That's the park we spent majority of our childhood in. We saw how Orange Mound was being portrayed all over the news, and to be honest, we never really wanted to coach because we knew what it took from your family, you know what I mean? We always did the training, so a lot of the top kids we trained them.
Yeah.
But he called me it was about 3:30 in the morning one day. He's like, it's gonna have to be us. Like it's gonna have to be us to come back and help get our community where it need to be. And it's just grateful and thank God that we were able to allow Orange Mound to be able to kind of poke their chests out a little bit more and just be proud to throw up Orange Mound and wear Melrose and Orange Mound all over the city.
So I'm talking to Jared on the phone, right?
Yes, sir.
So
on the
Jared
bus.
and I,
On the bus.
just right. Jared and I are talking on the phone, and he makes a statement on the way to the state, and I don't think people heard it, the magnitude of the statement, because like I told him, I said, man, Orange Mound known for eating their own now.
Absolutely.
In a minute.
Absolutely.
I said, I don't understand it. I've always been angry at the fact, like, man, you getting your own.
Yeah.
But you chewing them up and spitting them out. Like, what's up? And Jared says to me, hey, man, it ain't their fault. They spoiled. I thought that was profound because he said they used to getting past the third round. We championship. We know what it looked like to get there. And that community is built on that. So going in the door, it was state championship a bust for you guys?
Man, absolutely. Like, our minds can't go second and third round. Nothing against anybody who's made it to that point.
I
But
love it.
when you come to Melrose, man, you already have your mind had to be made up. Like regions, they don't really celebrate region districts, man. They won't chase state championship. They won't gold balls. Wow. I mean, we still have people like, ruffling about the silver ball, and we did it in 6 months. But we understand, that we understand what we did when we came over, when we took this, task. Man, we got a spoiled group. It took us a lot. One thing we always had was each other.
Yeah.
Anytime we went through any rough patches
Yeah.
or we didn't feel like the support was where we wanted it to be, we
Yeah.
always leaned on one another. And we
Yeah.
told each other, just keep winning, they'll come.
Yeah.
If you keep winning, they'll come, man. That's
Yeah.
one thing about that community. Just win. If you win, they'll come. Let them talk. Let them talk. We built for this. We're from that neighborhood. We really grew up in that neighborhood, both sides. Every side of Orange Mountain that you can possibly think of. I don't think nobody would challenge us on that. And that's not a bragging thing. That's a fact. So we know Orange Mountain through and through. But right now, I know one thing we can say now, they're up now. They're not sleeping anymore. They up. So they up now.
Hey man, hey, I thought I could get with it. These young boys here, man, they something special over here, man. These dudes different. Look, so here we go. When did y'all realize, like, and I know y'all laugh, but here you go. I ain't Jared, I'm talking to Jared. But I know you feel.
Right.
Jared, here we go. When did it click in to say, hey man, we really could make a run to the gold ball?
I saw how we gelled without Jamarian, which is Jerry's son. One of the top, if not the top player in the entire state. To us, he's the top player in the state. Going to Texas A&M in a couple weeks here. But
I told you to bring him
missed,
so he come live.
Yeah, he missed the first 6 weeks, and I saw how we were gelling. We played Munford. We lost by 1 point, and then we played South Wind. He played that game, but that was his first game back. You know how that is. You've been gone for 7 weeks.
Yeah.
And we only lost to them by 2. So I think that's when we kind of knew, like, nah, we got a special team. Like, we saw how they're gelling. We saw how they're coming together. We saw how they're communicating. We saw how they are in the school building. We saw how they are just the small. We're big on, like, small detail things. Like, we know what it takes. Right. And it's the smallest detailed things that shows you, like, nah, this is a special team. Absolutely.
Now, how many states y'all got?
One.
But
Okay.
we've actually traveled on all 3 of them. Like, so we were the little water boys on the 96 team. We traveled, that was the team that got 3 games taken away from them, and they had to go on the road the whole entire time. So all 4 rounds were on the road, and we were the water boys on the team. So we went to every game, every playoff game, state championship game. We were there with Cedric Wilson, Andre Lotz, Kevin Taylor's, Moorheads. We were there with them. We were the little kids that looked up to them. So we were on all of the championship team. 98 was the one we were actually on. We were in the 9th grade, but we were physically present for the other 2.
That's what's up. Mm-hmm. So y'all just saw the OGs in the football community do it and make it happen.
Absolutely.
So here's a great question. Mm-hmm. Did y'all go back and call Tim?
Always. Like,
Tim Thompson, for all those that don't know. Great coach at Melrose.
Has always been a mentor to us.
Okay, good.
Before, anytime things get a little rough, we had a situation with a couple of our kids, administration was, kind of messing off on a couple of our kids. And it was frustrating because it was actually right before the game. And a person I leaned on was, Coach T. I leaned on Tim, and he just said, man, don't let that bother you. I went through the same thing. He gave us a lot of the, things he's been through.
Yeah, the nuggets.
So, man, the nuggets that he gave us, man, we can't do nothing but take our hats off to Coach Tim, Coach T. Man, he paved the way for this. Yeah. Like, we're a part of his tree. We're part of his coaching tree.
Yeah, he's part of the community. When you changing,
absolutely.
When you changing from the warm-ups to the game time, the whole outfits, man, it was a thing. And people talk about that. You got a guy that I know, E.T. Jennings.
E2, that's my guy. That's like a father figure to us.
Hey, man, that dude, they're crazy about y'all. You understand what I mean? So he always brag on you guys. But he bleeds Orange Mound. Absolutely. Like, I'm talking about we could be any part of the country. Absolutely. He gonna holler out Orange Mound, man, and a couple more other things after that. Yeah. But you gonna say I'm from Orange Mound. So for you guys, how was it, man, to go in and have children, because I don't like to use the word kids all the time, right. Have children to buy into your vision. Hold on, here go the cold one. Who are seemingly visionless. I just laid one on you.
I don't think people understand how hard this task was.
Yeah.
Like, you're talking about an inner city Memphis kid. Memphis is a tough, like, avenue to be able to reach a kid. So it man, we had long days. Man, it was days. Cause I'm in the school. My brother's he's at an elementary school, Denver Prep.
Yeah, Cornerstone Prep.
So it was days, man. I would go to the back. Nobody could see me. and just kind of just, man, like talking to God, like, yeah, I know you brought us back here for a reason. I know this is
Wow.
not it. I know this is your plan, like, and just kind of talking ourselves through it. We talked every day, like we always talk
Me,
every
him and
day.
David Richmond.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
anytime
Me, him and D
you
Rich.
you call somebody at
Every
3 o'clock in the morning, yeah, y'all relationship tight.
Man,
But we knew, like, we super spiritual. We know,
Outstanding.
like God didn't put us here to do something normal. He
Ooh.
put us here to do something extraordinary. So
Ooh.
we knew that. Like, even when we were, in the playoff and we were down, I just kept saying to myself, I know my brother said the same thing. God, I know what you're doing. God, I know what you're doing. I know
Yeah.
you ain't put us here for no reason. You didn't, like, we knew it. Like, we like, I just knew it. Like, I started booking my rooms, like, for the playoff, for Chattanooga. I want to say it was like week 9. Like, I just felt like we were gonna make it that far.
Oh man.
Yeah,
He
Oh,
actually
man.
did it too.
Yeah.
Actually
Yeah,
did it too.
that is
Mm-hmm.
those are the things that we love to hear. So let me go even deeper now. I want y'all to take me there.
Let's go with it. Come on.
Young man, couple of young people lose their life, right?
Yes, sir.
In the shooting.
Yes, sir.
Tragic, right?
Yes, sir.
And you make the decision in to say you want to come back. You got players who had people to get injured or even killed in this situation.
Yes, sir.
How do you find them and bring them back to the light?
The first thing was like that incident, man, it crushed us. The next day we were actually at the park sitting on the bench. Me, him, and a couple more people that we grew up. Because we look at Orange Mound, we break it down. Orange Mound Park is like the deepest level to us. Like, it's the deepest level. So if you say you from Orange Mound Park, to us, it's almost like generals. Like, you're from that side of it. So when that happened at our park, donuts and doing all that on the basketball court, this is the park we grew up in. This is everything to us. Yeah, and our Ryan Browns was at the park and witnessed his best friend get killed. That's number one for us. That scored the 2 touchdowns in the state championship game.
He was there.
His best friend, he saw his best friend get killed right in front of him. So that was an obstacle in itself.
Nephews was there. My niece was there.
Nephews, nieces,
Yeah.
a lot of people were there.
Y'all people.
Yeah,
my
our
niece
y'all
and
family.
nephew,
well,
yeah.
that's our
So it was
community.
close. It was extremely
So
close.
after that happened, man, it was like an epiphany almost. We walked up to the stadium. He came up there, a few friends, and the news stations came, and we was just really just soaking in defeat at that point.
Wow.
And
Wow.
it was something that just hit us, man. Like, it's gotta be us, man. Like, who else? Like, God literally pushed us out here towards Melrose. Now, of course we love Orange Man and we love Melrose, but we were more on the training side of things.
Yeah.
But God was like, nah, it's gonna take y'all, man. Y'all got the respect in the neighborhood. Everybody loves y'all. Y'all pretty much got A+ credit in that neighborhood. You've done nothing
Right,
wrong
right,
to those
right,
people
right.
but help.
Right, right,
Like
right,
I told
right.
you over the phone, out of everybody, and no shade against everybody that's ever made it to that, the NFL level, those levels, we were the only ones that came back in our neighborhood and threw a free camp for the kids. I always wanted people to come back to Orange, man. If you came from that, that environment and you went to Melrose, Coach T, one thing he always preached with us, never forget. And I'm not saying those guys forgot, but it's just like, man, do it in our neighborhood where our kids can walk up to the park and do things like that and, go to a free camp or whatnot. But, man, that massacre was everything. It changed our lives. It made us get out of the crowd, because you got a lot of people that love to talk, but they don't like to do. And we got
What
tired
you
of talking.
said.
And we wanted to do
Yes,
things
sir.
for our neighborhood, man, and uplift our neighborhood. Why not us? Why not be Orange Mound? Orange Mound is a one-of-one neighborhood. It's a one-of-one community. It's the first to do something.
Yeah.
As black people. Why wouldn't we try to say that? We saw it going in the wrong direction, and we said, man, we're going to get up off our tail, man, and come and help this community out. I don't care what it takes. We walking in this thing fearlessly, and whatever happens, happens, but we know we did something to try to save that community at the end of the day, and that's what we did.
Well, I think one of the greatest things is when you know who sent you,
Right.
you can stand on it.
Absolutely.
Right.
When you know who sent you,
Right.
you can stand on it. So Gerald, I'm gonna ask you this question: how was the experience leaving Memphis, coming from that same community, and going to Tennessee State? What was that like for you?
It was surreal because we were the first to go to college in our family. Well, my sister went, but from our neighborhood, we were like the first. From our family tree, we were like the first. So going to Tennessee State was everything to us. We didn't have parents that knew about college. So
Wow.
it's like, I
Wow.
don't even think our parents dropped us
That
off.
was me
I
and
think
Eddie
my
Woods.
cousin
Yeah,
Dropped
that was
us.
us. That was us. We rented a car.
Yeah,
Me, you, and Eddie Woods. We
that
went
was
together.
on the. But
Mhm.
it was surreal because we always wanted to go to college. We always wanted
Wow.
to change the narrative of our family's infrastructure, and we were able to do that at one of the greatest, universities the world has ever seen. We love TSU.
Yeah, we do.
That's
Yeah,
what's
we
up.
love
So
TSU.
so what did you grab? So I asked that question. I asked like, what were the life lessons that you grabbed that you brought back down here to Memphis, man, to help in this
That was
run to the playoff,
that
to,
was our
to the
first
championship?
time seeing like our color, like all us. It's a little bit different now, but we saw like we didn't know nothing about a fraternity. We didn't know nothing about a sorority. We didn't know nothing about none of this. We from
Wow.
little old Orange Mound. We never had
Wow.
anybody go to college. So
Wow.
just seeing all these happy, you know, joyous black people
From across
going
the
to
country.
school,
Absolutely.
from across the country. We met like some of the greatest people in the world that were still our friends. Even Tito Langston, who's at the board right
Yeah.
now. He's a TSU alum that, he's been intricate as far as with our journey here and helping us out on a lot of things with that TSU connection. So, man, we love TSU. We
Yeah.
big blue to the
Yeah,
day we die,
yeah,
for sure.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. So y'all preach that to your kids. They might get to college. It's bigger than
it's-
stop stopping right here. Let's get there.
It's easier to do. Nothing we've done has been easy, but I'm saying it's easier to put yourself in those kids' shoes because you've been them.
Yes,
so
sir.
when you're speaking in
Same
the
streets
locker-
now.
Absolutely.
Not just been there.
Right.
Let's make it clear because
Right.
I don't want people to get lost if they just
Right.
picked up. No, them streets your streets.
Absolutely.
You can name 10 streets off the top of your head.
I can name 30.
Stop it.
But it was when we having meetings, 'cause like I told you, we have meetings. That's something we grab from Coach T as well. Like get the kids' minds. Like you can't just send them out there to play football, especially in the generation we're living in now. You have to get those kids' minds. So that was number one thing we did. We put meetings in progress, and to be able to talk to those kids and say, I was sitting in your seat. I was right where you were. It was people on our team that didn't listen at first either, because you have wondering eyes when you first start.
Yes, sir.
Because you have a different team.
Yes, sir.
The kids that know us, of course they know. That train with us, they know. But you're dealing with a whole different team, and you got some wondering eyes. But at the end of the season, man, when our dream came true and everything that we told them was gonna happen, because we were preaching state championship from day one.
Yeah.
We never spoke second round, third round, fourth round, nothing against that. But everything we've done, man, has been God driven. It's God driven, man. That neighborhood, and I'm gonna add this to it. Dallas Street runs directly into Melrose Stadium.
That's
My mom
right.
passed on Dallas Street.
Oh, wow.
The incident just happened like a month ago with the Javarius Wilson kid. That was like a son to me. He stayed in the house with me. So it's like I lost a son. He died directly in front of my mom's house on Dallas Street as well.
Wow.
So me and him, we take a walk around Melrose Stadium every time we have a home game, and we stare down that street and we say a prayer for that community, and we say a prayer for my mom. We say a prayer for my nephew, which was like my son. Still, he stayed in the house with me. So it's a lot that went into us coming over here. It wasn't just about football. It was about coming back, man, and saving lives. And that's the main thing. Football is just the avenue we're using. But it's all about that community, man, and saving those kids. If you come back, at the end of the day, we always say they're kids.
Yeah.
If you come and show kids consistent love, man, they'll
Yes,
show
sir.
it back to
Consistent.
you. It has to be consistent.
Yes,
dog.
sir.
If
Speak
you
on it.
Tell them something, you better do it.
Yeah, be a man
you
of
better
your
do
word.
it because they're going to question everything you say after that, because this is a tough group of kids. This is the toughest group of kids I think Memphis has ever seen. So we're not only diving in, into football, we're diving into mentalities and,
Kevin Malone, I just want to tell you, Kevin Malone want to say he went to TSU.
Yes, sir.
He just texted me. He said, man, I love that TSU. Hey, man, nobody want to hear that. Nobody want to hear that. That's what's
Keep
up.
room, Kevin. Keep room, bro. Keep room.
Yeah. So, again, man, how do you see your team next year? I got to ask that question.
Man.
Because
Stop.
you young, right?
Stop.
You young?
I mean, we had a,
No,
had a-
we young, but like the culture we've set with the team that we have, you don't just you can ask any coach, you don't just make it to the state championship. Like you don't luckily make it to the state championship.
That's good.
It's not
I like
luck.
that.
That's
I like
not
that.
luck. That's
I
not
like
a
that.
kid. That's
I
not,
like that.
It's the culture we've set. Like
Yes, sir.
Our kids was at the stadium yesterday. Like they can't get enough of it. Like we have to tell them, hey, the season over with, y'all. But
Take a break.
they love
Yeah.
the culture that we've set,
Yeah.
and they know it's a safe environment,
Yeah.
and they know if I'm in this locker room with coaching them, they like we tried our best to make sure they didn't have to pay any fees, they didn't have to do
Good.
anything. We've never made
Good.
any cuts. Like you'll cut yourself if you can't.
Yeah.
If you can't go all the way through, then you cut
Yeah.
yourself. But
Right.
we had an autistic kid on the team. We had two
kids.
kids that had ankle monitors on the team. I wrote a letter for one of our kids to get out of jail, and man, I promised him he was gonna be good. He actually played in the state championship game, got in on kickoff. Like nobody would probably allow those kids to, this autistic kid, he's truly autistic. Like we knew he would probably never touch the field, but he just loved being around the kids. And we made sure that they knew if you mess with him, that's like messing with us.
Right.
And they embraced it. They love him. It's been a journey. Like we've always
Big
said,
family.
like you can write.
Hey, Kia Shine,
yeah.
you from Memphis. You promote autism. These guys had an autistic
Kid. Yep.
player on the football team.
Absolutely.
Kia Shine, I'm calling you out. You better take care of these guys. Anytime but you just make it, it's real.
Right.
And I'm saying that because everybody's pushing the autism, right? With the
Right.
several colors on there, right? The multicolor. So I see people pushing the narrative on autism and guys who are in great positions, right?
Yeah.
And I'm saying now, like, man, you dudes then showed them, like, no, you can find a place for them. You can give them an opportunity to enjoy those things like everybody else does and be a part of it. Because guess what? When y'all took a picture with the silver ball, guess who was on that picture? That same young man.
Absolutely.
When y'all win that thing, is he a junior?
I think
he's a junior.
He has one more
Y'all
year.
win that thing next year, guess what he gonna get? The same kind of ring.
After
You understand? He gonna go to college.
That's what it's about. Like,
Yes, sir.
I think so many times, and we used to do this when we were playing. Sometimes you get so bogged down into the game of football, but when you really break it down, it's just a game.
Yeah.
Like what do you take away from this to further your life?
Yeah.
And that's what our meetings is about. Most of the time, it ain't even about football. It's about how you treat people. What type of father you gonna be. If you make a baby, no matter what that woman puts you through, you make sure you be there for that child.
Absolutely.
You make sure you handle your responsibilities. You be a good son.
Right.
Don't talk like if you talk a certain way to your mom or your dad, that's gonna come back on you. Like so,
Yeah,
it's
that's-
so many
that's real
different
talk.
Jews and so many different things we talk to them about that has nothing to do with football. And any kid that we have that comes into our locker room, they gravitate to that type of energy that we have because they see like, okay, they're just not all about football because we talk a lot about. It was one kid on our team. He probably 100 pounds soaking wet. He was one of our, the kids we talked about the most because of his personality and how like forget football. Everybody ain't for college. Everybody like it's about where you're gonna be in life.
Yeah,
like if
man.
you're gonna be a plumber, if you're gonna be
Yes, sir.
those are all things
Yeah.
that Coach T pushed into us and our
Yeah.
father pushed into us because we come from a single parent.
Man, this
Father.
got to be Father Field. The God put it on my mind because I was just about to ask a
Yeah, we had
question.
a
Tell me
single-parent
about.
father.
Yeah, tell me about.
We grew up with a single parent. Like I told you, I think we were on the phone when I said, like, what's the odds of identical twins being raised by a single parent father? Like, that's probably less than 1%.
Yeah.
You have an identical twin, someone you can talk to at any time, and you have a single parent father. The mom is not around the way she needs to be. Of course, she loved us and she wanted to support us as much as she could, but at the time, she just wasn't able to.
Right.
We grew up with structure.
Your dad.
Get up, time and everything was big. So everything that you see us doing, man, my dad pushed that into us. When you see my son move the way he moved, man, that come from 2-3 generations of strong men and that we pushing into those kids. So when you see us making to the state in 6 months, that's a lot of hard work and that's a lot of energy going towards manly skills.
Yeah.
Man, being a man,
Yeah.
get up, stop complaining, stop whining. If you don't like the position you in, get up off your tail, make us play you. Don't complain about somebody else playing in front of you. I think that's a coward to me. Get up off your tail. I want to say the other word. Get up off your ass and outshine that person in front of you. You can't say it. All right, but get up off your tail and do that.
Hey, baby, you're a
I'm just
motivator.
big on
Speaking,
that.
you're a motivator.
Yeah,
So,
I'm
so,
big on not complaining.
but here it is. Let me take you right here. So, with that being said, I want to go back to the dad piece because I'm big. I'm a dad, right? So, for you guys having a single parent dad,
Yes, sir.
was your dad that stand up guy in the neighborhood, Orange Mound Vet?
Man.
Everything that you see come from us, man. My daddy was there. All the kids coming on my house, my daddy was there. We had a 1-bedroom home.
Stop it.
Shotgun. But everybody spent the night at
Everybody go
our
right.
house, and my dad made sure everybody was fed.
What your dad do? If you
My
don't
dad
mind?
was he worked at a furniture store off
King
Lamar. It was
Furniture.
called King Furniture. He worked there
Yes,
for probably
sir.
30 years. Worked
Yeah.
6 days a week. Man had to walk 4 miles. Could get a ride, but didn't want it.
Yeah.
Like never wanted handouts. Always just wanted to work, and that was instilled with us. Also, it was instilled in Eddie Woods because Eddie Woods was with us the entire time. And Woods,
Wow.
of course, is he was Cane Ridge. He was at Melrose at first, and he was at Cane Ridge in
That's right.
Nashville. Made a state championship as well. So all of us, us twins and Eddie Woods have made a state championship off a lot that came from off my daddy's back, man, and him just showing us that hard effort, no excuses, get up, do what you're supposed to do, instill discipline and things like that into us, man. So everything that you see that come from us, and I try to explain this to my boys as well, because they never seen, my dad had a few strokes, so they never seen him be himself.
At that 100%.
Right. So I have
Yeah.
to, a lot of things that I instill into them and we instill into our boys come directly from what our dad taught us.
So I'm gonna take this. Perspective. Ask this question to Gerald. Your nephew is going to Texas A&M as a uncle.
Okay.
As an uncle, how does it feel to know that your nephew would not only what his dad put in him, but what you put him into him as well, right? It's paying off, and he's going major Division I football next year.
Man, it feels amazing. The football aside, he's just a great kid.
Yeah.
4.0 student.
Yeah.
He's extremely humble.
Yeah.
The tools that his mom and dad put in him, and I helped out, here and there, but man, that's all his mom and dad instilling those principles in him. Man, it feels amazing to know that we're putting a great kid out there, you know, because football, we always say football is going to end,
Right.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
who you are as a person, who you are as far as morally, as far as like your structure, that's going to forever live on. And to know that, Dave did an amazing job with putting him out there. He just so happened to be a great football player, but he's an even better young man.
Absolutely.
I love it, Dad.
Man, it's exactly
Don't
what he
don't
said.
don't
but
you
I
don't you
add
cry on
on.
here.
Nah, I ain't gonna cry.
I'm messing with him, y'all. I'm
Nah,
messing with
but,
him. You do what you want to do on this show. I'm gonna cry with you.
To be in that locker room this year, because
Yeah.
I challenged him, like, it's going to take your leadership. We're dealing with kids that hadn't been out the second round in forever. Nobody on our team has been out the second round.
Right.
So him and Jaden Jones were the only ones on our team. I think we had a receiver that was on Houston 9th grade team. He was in 9th grade when they won. But for the most part, it was Jaden Jones and Jamarion to bring what they were instilled at Germantown. They made it to the third round, but our kids hadn't made it out the second round. So him doing what he's done, man, it's extremely impressive. And him as a leader, not like just seeing him on that field. This kid, and this is me as a coach. Take father out of it because I don't want people to look at it like I'm just, I'm the opposite of that.
No,
Takes a
this
lot
your
to get
time.
me.
Take care. I said,
So,
Dad,
but
how
with
you
him,
get.
But with him, everything that you see in the game, that's how he works in practice. Every rep in the weight room is 100%. Every play in practice is 100% both ways. He never takes a play off. I don't know if I've been around a kid like that never takes a play off. He never takes a play off. So anything that he does in the game is like
Jaden goes hard.
yeah, Jaden the same way. Yeah, Jaden the same way. But man, that man, he deserves everything that came his way. And I'm thankful because I had a mission, I had a goal, and I always taught him, man, you put your mom in a position, you do this to put your mom in a position where she never has to work again a day in her life unless she wants to. And he's done it at 18. So, man, I'm ecstatic, man. It's unbelievable, man. I look forward to seeing him on the next level. And he's going to be one of the kids that come back. And this Melrose thing, it won't stop because he will keep feeding back into, this program as well, man. Because we're going to show people that not only once you make it to college, if he's, blessed to make it to the next level, you come back, man, and show those kids your face. You come back, and it's not about the money. It's about who you are. It's about them seeing you and know that they can make it as well. But it's unbelievable, man, and I'm ecstatic for him to see what he does on the next level.
Man, how you gonna do that, man? That's what's that? What is it? College Park Station?
College Station.
Yeah, College Station.
Station.
It's gonna. You gonna have to hop on that bird as soon as your game over with on Friday, man, to go see that man.
Man, I already looked at the entire schedule for next year, so I know that's going.
The missus gonna be gone. Like, baby, I love you. I'm going to see my baby.
Yeah.
Hey, so again, man. With that being said, you guys have done a phenomenal job.
Appreciate it.
Of going over there and, like you said, in 6 months, being where you are,
Right.
getting to the state championship game, and as Gerald said, not by luck, which I thought was beautiful, predestined, knew it was going to happen, hard work. Now, God will put you in a position, but you got to do the work.
Absolutely.
And it shows when you put the work.
Right.
I'll get you there.
Right.
Here's a question I have. Give me 3 takeaways from this season. Good, bad, and different, but 3 takeaways you got from this season that you'll be able to take into next season, and it's going to take you to the next level.
The first thing we got from it is experience. Like,
Okay.
to be able to make a state championship, that says we have a state championship caliber team. We have about 75% of our players who've
Outstanding.
gone to the state championship.
Outstanding.
That's number one. The hardest thing to do when you do something like we did is to set the foundation. That's already been done. As far as the discipline, as far as the standards, things like that, that's been done.
Right.
Like, that's the hardest part, to change
Yeah.
these kids' mentality.
The culture, as y'all
We're
talked about.
living in an
Absolutely.
era where drill music. You can listen to one song and 75 people has been killed in one song. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
this is what our
Yeah.
kids are listening to.
Yeah.
We don't take that away from them. We just let them know, hey, this is just a song.
Right.
It's not real life.
It's not real.
If you go down this road, this is what they have
Yeah,
waiting
yeah.
on you.
Something
So
special.
we don't come with this old school, super old mentality like you not listening to your music. No. Chanting is over with. Back in the day, it used to be chanting.
Yeah.
Hey, here we go.
Yeah.
Put that.
That's,
Oh, wow.
that's over. Like,
Put that
music
music
is
Jared
the
and I
chant.
had that conversation. I asked him about that. He was like,
music
no.
is the chant.
I
Even
let
if you
him
go to
I
these
let him go free.
universities, you go to universities, they're always playing music. They always
Sure
playing
is.
music. It's not a lot of
Sure is.
chanting no more. So those would be the 2 things: experience and foundation would be the 2 positive things. The thing that we have to work on with any team that's been successful is keeping them grounded.
Yeah,
You know
staying
what I
humble.
mean? Staying humble.
Yes, sir.
Get a praise to God and keep moving forward.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We real big on that. Like, you can unconsciously start to listen to the noise and not know it. So anytime somebody praises you, does things like that, we do it to this day. We always like silently say to ourselves, all praise to God, all praise to God.
Yeah.
Because once you have that type of mentality, I think you'll be fine. You know what I mean? So just keeping them grounded will be one of the things that we definitely got to do moving forward.
Yeah, and one thing I say out loud, because I'm a proponent of this, administrators and all those good people that's over at Melrose and people who say they die hard. I saw you on the pictures who couldn't make it to the state, some that went to the state. I saw your pictures, you bragging on them. But don't just do it with your mouth, do it with your presence.
Right.
Show up and show out. Show up and give. Show up and promote.
Right.
Do what you're supposed to do. Quit all the lip service. I think Jared
Absolutely.
said it before. Everybody talk a lot, but who doing? And I
Right.
think at this season, these guys have made it tough on a lot of you guys. Just run y'all mouth. Now you got to do something. And to the administrators over at Melrose, kudos to you guys.
Right.
Support these guys to the highest now. And got you to the state
You
championship.
gotta have both.
It's short conversation now. I just had 2, and I'm not saying I don't know what's going on, but I always say this right here. You got to be a promoter of academics as well as athletics.
Right.
Said Miller, who just left here with the May staff, Executive Director Gasson and Assistant Executive Director Malone, Dr. Malone, left here, and they are all proponents of athletics.
Right.
And I'm trying to make sure that the city of Memphis understands so goes your school, so goes your athletics, so goes your school.
Absolutely.
And I can imagine you being at Melrose and the culture changing. The enthusiasm for ignorance had to went down some because of the culture that was being created with the football team.
Absolutely.
So I'm just saying to the teachers and administrators at Melrose, embrace it. Don't get in your feelings. Take what I'm saying because I'm shooting you straight. I don't have no favorites. Make sure you do what you got to do to support these guys and what they're doing, especially when they're changing the culture. And that goes for anybody because Melrose is very historic. And I think me and Jared was talking about this. Melrose was one of the schools that the state wanted to take over. And they were like, no, not our hood. And they stood up and said something.
Right.
And a lot of people need to understand, like standing on shoulders of people that built it.
Absolutely.
Like, okay, you got it. What we about to do?
Right.
All right? You let me take care of athletics, you take care of academics, and we make a happy happy relationship. And I think that's what has to happen.
Absolutely.
Let that thing grow. Let them do what they do.
It's been
Football
happening
wise,
too,
man, y'all
I gotta
did.
give I gotta give a huge shout out to our admin. Like,
Good.
it started off a little rocky, but I think midway through the season they started to understand our vision.
Yeah.
They started to see like, okay, like, because we knew we've lived it, and it's hard to tell a person who's never lived it and been in that culture
Right.
what the football team winning is going
Will
to
do
do to
for
the
it.
rest
Yes,
of the
sir.
community and the school. So I think I definitely know midway through the season, but for sure during the playoff run, everybody started to see. I saw in their faces, we saw in their faces how they were kind of like, oh my God, like,
Yeah.
y'all
We can do
said
it.
it, but you know what I mean?
It's coming
different
to
when you feel
fruition.
it.
Yeah, man, that's beautiful. One of the pictures I'm gonna take away, and I'm about to get off. But this one of the pictures I saw. Right,
Time.
said I called said right. Says and Gaston, the executive director. I said, man, y'all coming back tonight? They're like, no, we staying up. We're going to support Melrose.
Right.
That's what I need the city to do.
Absolutely.
Because guess what I know you guys would have done? Because y'all like Nashville anyway. Man, we riding up to the state. Probably would have took some of your boys if you hadn't have made it.
Absolutely.
Hotel room would have been what it was. But we going up here to show our boys what it's like to support. And I don't know how many coaches in the city of Memphis went, right? But I challenged them to start going. So when you go to the coach on the football team, the sideline,
Right.
y'all ought to start making pacts with each other, sitting there, man. If you make it, we coming.
Absolutely.
If you make it, I'm coming. We make it, I'm coming. You know what I'm saying? We got to start doing it because that's what the smaller towns do. You better know.
Yeah.
They do. They stick together.
Who y'all? What name team y'all play?
Macon County.
Macon. Yeah. Hey,
Yeah, it wasn't just Macon County people in them saying.
Yeah.
It was surrounding counties. You know, everybody.
who they
support
whoop?
everybody.
Who they
Absolutely.
beat on the way? Like, no, I'm going to support. I know that, man.
Right.
I know, coach. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I think we need to do what we got to do and take care of the business. Orange Mound, quit trying to eat your own now. I'm going to tell you again, leave these young men alone. No, Gerald. I'm an outside, so I'm going to go and get it. You keep playing. You keep doing politics. Hey, man, leave them guys alone, man. They your own. Like, for real. I hope the camera's still on me and looking at me, man. Y'all got to quit doing it. Like, these young men took a team with 6 months when y'all were across the street, not coming into the game, barbecuing, and talking about you love the team. They can't even hear you cheer. And now they get them to the state championship game, and you got nerve enough to be mad because they didn't come back with the gold ball.
First time in 20
You ain't
years.
in 20-something years, man. You ain't been there, and they bring you there. You got a frown on your face. You better take that silver like you want a gold. Quit playing out here. Quit playing out here. Quit playing. Cause I tell you, I ain't walking on one mile. I ain't from on one mile.
Right.
But you already know the bid. I'm a Memphis. Like the dude who said, Memphis.
Better know it.
Absolutely.
You know what I stand
Yeah,
on.
you better know it.
And I say this to anybody. I just happen to have you guys up here.
Yes, sir.
It's too much tradition over there, man. And you make it so. Now here's a tough one. You make it so that I might not want to come back sometime.
Right.
You guys have changed the narrative. But before y'all got there, it was people like, no, I ain't never going to Melrose. What I'm going to go back over there for, man?
And that-
It'll
I'm
never
glad
be
you
good
went
for
that-
me.
I'm glad you went that way because, you know, no knock on any other county schools, further out schools, but that was one of our things too. Like the tradition of the city schools, it's like the private schools take our kids and they go out there, so it takes away from the BTWs, the Hamiltons, like the super inner city schools,
Yeah,
and that
man.
was another
They've been
thing we
around for
wanted to do.
long. Yeah.
Nobody would have brung a 4-star kid from Germantown back to Melrose. You take them away. You take them
Going the
away.
opposite way.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna name any names, but you know, people were like, it was lucrative things on the table to
You ain't gotta
get
tell
my
me.
nephew.
You ain't got to tell
You know what I mean? We
Yeah.
said no, because you can't buy us.
They almost offered you
Man,
that
on
P.
the
Diddy
Orange
baby
Mound.
oil. I know
He
it.
going
I
to
had
Orange
a-
Mound. Like, it's bigger than money. You can't
won't.
you can't buy us. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah, I won't name the school, but
Don't do it.
I sat down with an entire coaching staff where they were offering a car, money, apartment just for him to come out. I was like, man, it's bigger than football to me, man. It's bigger than football. It's
Yeah.
about changing and shaping
Yeah.
our community, man. It's
Yeah.
about touching the youth. It's
Yeah.
about doing things like that. It's just not about Memphis, man. People looking at Hamilton the same way. People looking at Treadwell the same way. BTWs, all the inner city schools that we talk about. We doing this with Memphis on our back.
Yes,
Not just
sir.
Orange Mound. We just delivering it through Orange Mound. But
Yes,
I always
sir.
say, man, Orange Mound is a very proud community. If you,
Yes, sir.
I think God is working through Orange Mound. If you get Orange Mound right, because Orange Mound has always been a family-oriented community. We've always been a brotherhood. But the youth don't know that. We do. So if we turn Orange Mound minds around, it will reach the city eventually.
Our biggest thing was,
Mm-hmm.
and it had nothing to do with football, but it did. when we practiced on that Wednesday before we left,
Right.
we practiced at the stadium. We practiced early. The principal
It's a
let
9
us pull the
o'clock
kids
practice.
out to practice early because we were playing a
Yeah,
early game.
yeah.
And we saw all of those elementary kids from Dunbar,
Yeah.
and they were saying, "Let's go Melrose." It brought tears to our
Yes,
eyes
sir. Yes,
because
sir.
it's like you start to see, okay, now they're starting to look
Yeah, that's
back
the
up
choo-choo
to
train.
positivity.
That's the choo-choo
They're
train.
not,
Absolutely.
you know what I
That's
mean?
the
That's what we
choo-choo train.
grew up like.
Yeah,
we grew up
man.
going to Dunbar signing autographs. We were the stars, and that's was one of our goals was to get the community and the kids back to seeing positivity, like things like football, and we got a lot of kids that are. In the honor society, I mean, I think we got like maybe 70% of our team is on the honor roll.
That's what's up.
So, man, that's what we wanted to do. That was one of our goals. The gold ball, that was kind of in the background. Making it to the state championship, that means our community is going to be able to be proud. They can put their Melrose gear on. They can start throwing back up Orange Mountain in their pictures. They can feel proud about their community again. When 420, which is when the shooting came, you couldn't do that. You were almost ashamed to be
Wow,
say you
wow.
from Orange Mountain. I went up to the school and I saw police all over the place, running kids off, doing all this. And our main thing was we have to change this. And we, through God's graces, were able to do it before the year even was over with. So thank God,
Hey.
that He trusted us to be able to
Let me tell
carry
you
this
something.
mission out.
Let me tell y'all something. This has been probably, besides having Anthony Hardaway up here,
That's my guy too, bud.
Yeah.
this has been, and I think John gonna roll with me.
Yep, already coached.
This, the interview with Said,
Yes, sir.
then coming back with you guys.
Yes, sir.
I think we go platinum with this one.
Yes, sir.
I think we might go double platinum because I got twins in here.
Yes, sir.
Double platinum.
Yes, sir.
Because here's one thing we got to realize: there has not been a conversation today that we hadn't put God in, right? And you are nothing without Him. And I'm gonna promote what I am, right?
Right.
I'm not promoting anything. I'm just
Right.
telling you who I am, right?
right,
So I'm not telling you that you got to be. I'm
Right.
telling you who I am.
Right,
You understand what I
right,
mean?
right.
Same with you, gentlemen.
Right.
But at the end of the day, man, I love it for the people. I love everybody getting a chance to hear from you guys. Not on Facebook, in a sense, not being in the locker room, the authentic you, telling that story, who you are. Of course, when you come to this place right here, man, this our sanctuary,
Right.
people just have an opportunity to hear what we talk about,
Right,
right?
right.
And so, man, I
we
thank
take-
you guys for coming on. And I'm going to get off this air. But before I get off this air, let me tell y'all, man, I love y'all, man. Y'all stay in it, man. You understand what
wanna
I
say
mean?
one thing,
For
too,
real,
before
hit
I
me
get
with
off.
it.
Yeah, I
Hit
just
me
wanna
with
say
it.
one thing, like what you just said. That's exactly what we approached Melrose with. Man, come back. If you got the number one thing that I see that's plaguing our community, one of the number one thing, of course, fatherlessness, but we don't return back to our schools. We have to go back to our schools.
Yeah,
Those are
man.
where the kids are at.
Yeah, man.
Go back and help them. Don't just talk about them, man. Them kids crazy, man. Them kids. Nah, go back and help them. And that's what we did. We got tired of talking and we started doing. So
Yeah.
if you're going to talk and not do, you might as well be quiet.
Ooh.
You might as well be quiet if you're not going to do anything about it. We're doers, not talkers. So if you don't talk, do something.
Hey, let me tell y'all
What's wrong
something.
with
Hey, let me clear it up like this. John, get ready to hit the button because you know my line. I love you more than you love me. If it ain't so, prove it. Root to the cues. But before I go, remember, you listen to the Taylor Made Sports Show. And I'm out.
Thank God.